Been lit, boy. Everything goes.
All right, so join us on the phone today. We have San Jose Giants, Shane Matheny. Shane, how you doing today?
Good, guys. How are you?
Doing good,
doing
man.
great,
Doing
man.
real
We have
good.
you on the podcast. When we have guests, it brings big smiles to our face.
Yeah, it's an honor to be on. This is my first podcast, so thank you guys for having me.
Hey, it's an absolute blast, man. So tell me, man, how's your summer been? I mean, are you still playing baseball? Are there summer leagues? Are you just working out and training?
Mostly just working out, training. I mean, we don't really want to risk it with all these leagues popping up, and our big club has most to say over all that. So I'm just doing what I can, trying to stay busy, but wild summer so far, to say the least.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely weird not having any minor leagues. We live probably, I want to say, 10 minutes from a minor league field. It's just weird not having
Yeah, there's
any of
nothing going on there.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been home at this time in probably 8 years, 9 years.
How
and-
were you guys told? Like, were they just give you a call and basically say, hey, the minors, we're not going to have a season?
Basically, I mean, we all kind of saw it the way that the news was trending, and then we got an email from our high guys, and hey, unfortunately, this is what happened with the minor league season. We'll keep you up to date with anything if anything changes, and keep training, doing your thing, stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you next year, pretty much.
Wow.
Now,
Yeah.
there's no shot at all that you could advance to be on that next roster that's capable of going up and playing with the big team.
I mean, there's a chance for everybody, but there's most of those rosters are pretty much ironed out, but we're doing our best to stay ready just in case that call does come.
Because I think this year, with everything the way things are going on, especially with pitchers struggling, I mean, you see like the Yankees, Paxton, his velocity's not up. Happ is a mess. Montgomery's struggling again today. You're seeing a lot of pitchers getting a chance, and you're seeing a lot of infield players get a chance. I mean, they're moving up quick.
Yep. I mean, like I said, man, I've been training, working hard every day. That's kind of how I've been approaching this whole thing as a way to get better, and yeah, we're all just staying ready just in case.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now, if I'm not mistaken, are you a Mariners fan, right?
Yeah, I grew up an hour and a half south of Seattle in Bremerton, so lifelong Mariners fan. I love watching them, but I got to ride with the Giants.
I was gonna say, since like you're not really playing, like, are you rooting for the Mariners right now? Or are you watching the Giants?
Man, I'm just happy to watch baseball on my TV again.
It's weird without the crowds, though. But I love
Yeah.
that they're blasting the crowd music in, though, and keeping it kind of real.
Yep, trying to keep everything somewhat normal, but man, I was so happy to see sports back. It kind of was uplifting with everything. Made everything a little bit better.
Yeah, we're big Yankees fans, so quarantine wasn't too bad because there was a lot of people on the injured list. So seeing Garrett
Yeah.
Cole and Judge out there finally, it's really nice to see.
Yeah, it must be really nice.
Well, you know what? When you have a lot of power hitters on your team, there tends to be a lot of strikeouts, and
Yeah.
you get spoiled quick when you see like how to get out to a good start. And now tonight they're struggling with the Phillies, and you're pounding your fist like, come on, man, do something. No, where's the home run?
Exactly.
But what do you think of the baseball, the way it's set up this year with only the 60-plus games, and it just seems like everyone's in a rush for the playoffs, and I think it's great baseball so far.
Yeah, I think it's been awesome. It adds a lot more importance to each and every game. You see a lot more in-game management because each game means a whole lot more. And I mean, personally, I love it just because there's none of those games where you're like, we got 140 left. We can
Yeah.
kind of take a rest with this one. It's pedal to the floor every game. And I love that.
Every game's important this year. But what do you think though of like the extra innings? Like there are some people out there they're not liking the whole starting at second base.
I think it's cool.
And I just think it's great for the game. I think it brings excitement. It's going to bring small ball back, and I just it's going to bring things back that you don't see anymore.
It's challenging.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's something that we've played with in the minors. They tested that out in the minors. I think starting last year or the year before. And,
I didn't know that.
It really does. Yeah. We I want to say it was only last year it came in, where extra inning starts, and if you were the last out in the ninth inning, you started on second base in extras.
Wow.
And I think it brings, like you guys said, a lot of small ball back into it. That situational type stuff. And
If I was coaching, I think depending on who's up and what they did all day long, I think I'd walk the first guy. That
You have to.
sets
Yeah.
up the double play, gets you in a good
Yeah.
position.
I would hate to be a pitcher though in that situation. I mean, that's a lot of pressure. Starting off with a man on second, I'd be
Yeah.
nervous.
Yeah. And then, like I said, it brings back that small ball aspect that's kind of taking the back seat to the home run lately.
Yeah,
So
you really don't see a lot of small. You don't see a lot of bunts, honestly, much unless you're a
No.
pitcher.
And you know what's aggravating is like when you watch the game, you see how they shift so hard on some players, and
Oh, yeah.
all you have to do
Yeah.
is lay a bunt down that freaking third baseline, and you can walk the first.
uh-huh.
And guys can't do it.
Wait, do they
Yeah.
shift a lot in the minors too? I mean, I feel like I don't remember.
I mean, we do a good amount of shifting, but it's not. I haven't seen anything to the extremes of there's all four guys on one side of the infield, like
Yeah.
you see with some of these big lefties in the bigs. But it has its ups and downs. The shift, everyone says like you were saying, why don't you just hit a ball to the left side? Why don't you just lay down a bunt? But
Not
those
as
big
easy.
shifts. Yeah, that and those big shifts, those guys are being paid to hit, doubles, homers. Like it's a win for the other team if you just put him on first.
Have
He's
you
trying
ever-
to hit a homer.
Have you ever had a shift on you?
Yeah,
Is that a frustrating thing to see? Because
To be
something-
thrown out from the outfield.
yeah, it's not. It is not too fun to see. You hit a ball square, you see it get through the infield, and then oh wait, there's the second baseman.
Yeah, that's what sucks, man. You get a hold of it, and typically the standard regular infield, it's through the hole and you get a hit. But now there's someone there.
Now I gotta
Oh,
ask you
man.
something about the baseball. Did you notice a difference in the ball? Like, did you guys use the same balls that they use up in the pros?
No, we use different balls.
Okay. Because everyone was talking about how the ball was juiced during the season. That's why you saw so many home runs, but then the home runs were down. And MLB owns Rawlings, so they're saying that they changed the ball. And even the pitchers were saying that the laces were different in the playoffs.
I mean, so when big league guys would come down and make rehab starts with the team that you were playing with, they would bring major league balls down with them and then swap them out every inning.
Really?
So the balls were definitely different between the
Interesting.
majors and the minors. So
That is insane. I mean, that they do that. But I guess the fans want to see the long ball, so I think they're trying to bring the crowd back to the game, and that's the best way to do it. And then quick
Sucks for the pitchers,
swap
though.
it out for the playoffs quick.
yeah.
Now you play
Yeah, I
multiple
mean-
positions, man. How important is that for you as far as maintaining that training on all those different positions?
I love it. It adds so many more things for me to work on and kind of master. And that's, I'm always striving for perfection, and baseball is a game of imperfection. So
Mm-hmm.
it always gives me something to do. I love the defensive side of the ball. That's something I've always taken a lot of pride in. And just being able to play as many positions as I can to the best of my ability, that gives me something to work on every single time I head out there.
Now,
Yeah.
do you ever get? I actually grew up being a utility guy too, and I didn't mind it. But do you ever have a time where you're like, okay, I kind of just want to play this one position because I know I'm better than the guy in front of me. Like I should be starting there. Is there ever a time where you're kind of like frustrated with it?
No, not with me. I'm just the type of guy that wants to do what's best for the team. If that's
a great
me at
answer.
second, go for it. If that's me at third, I love third base. If that's me at short, all right. If you guys think that's me in center field, I'll go have fun playing out there.
Yeah. And is there
So-
is there a position you're okay with not playing? Like, is there a least favorite position you get thrown into?
Catcher.
Pitcher.
Yeah, that too. But you know what? That's the nice thing about what you're doing is you're so mobile that could give you the fast track to the next level up and the next level up until eventually you get to the pros, because you're mobile. You can play every position possible, which is awesome to have.
It does definitely give me a lot more, ways to success. There could be someone go down at second base and at a level above me, even though I'm playing third, I can go play second
Yeah.
if they need, so I'm just trying to do what's best, for my career and what's best for everyone around me.
Yeah. Now, Shane, tell me, in your opinion, what is the toughest part about the minors?
Oh man, it is just an absolute grind all around.
Yeah,
Wow.
I bet I can
You know,
imagine.
the travel it's tough. You're playing just about as many games as the big leaguers are, and we're being treated. I mean, we're not being treated bad. I'm not complaining anyway.
Yeah,
because I absolutely love it, but I don't necessarily love sitting on a bus for 13 hours to go and play a game right
man.
after.
That I couldn't.
And
I
is that
couldn't.
the only way you travel is by bus?
That's the only way I've traveled so far. I mean,
Oh
I
my
know once
God.
you get up to, I think it's AAA, they start flying around a little bit.
Now, is it like a bigger bus, or are they kind of like crammed in there? Like,
It's a decent sized bus. It's a sleeper bus. So there's some cots up. Like it's kind of hard to explain, but they're like hanging off the ceiling.
Are
really?
those for the coaches?
No, oh no, those it gets hot up there. But those you can go up there and lay down and sleep for a couple hours while you're on the bus.
That's actually
Other
kind of
than that,
nice.
man, it's a regular old bus.
So
Dude.
so once your minor league season's done, are you done with baseball then, or do you have an option to go play down in Arizona or any of these fall leagues?
Um, so our team, if they want us to go get more at bats, if we had an injury throughout the season or anything, we have that opportunity to go play winter ball in some of those places. But we have instructional leagues after the minor league season ends. We have stuff that training camp, so we can go down and get more specific working on whatever we need. But for the most part, with most guys, it's once the season's over, you get that little break and then you start training again for the next year.
Now we've never had a baseball coach on here yet, and one of the questions I'd love to ask him, and I can't, but I'm going to ask you instead is, how tough is it as being a teammate, being on a team where the roster turnover is so great that your team can change every season?
It's it's weird, man. Especially with this year, there were so many guys that were unfortunately released, let go from our team, and you get playing on the same team I mean, in the same organization for a few years, you get
Mhm.
really close with all these guys. So it's tough when that day comes, but at the same time, I've met some of my greatest friends, lifelong friends through this. So
Yeah.
But
there's good and bad.
do you think the coaches at that level are actually looking to win and win championships, or is it more like instructional and preparing you guys for the next level? Because that seems like to me that would be more important because, like I said, the roster is never the same.
Yeah, I mean, there is definitely that approach to where this is a more development for us in the minor leagues, but everyone out there on that field is there to win. There's definitely that competitive edge. I'm a huge competitor. I hate losing in anything, even
Yeah.
when it comes to family board games. I'm a competitive guy, so
That's how I am, man.
I that's how I am during the year, and you know that's for the most part every coach that I've seen or played against or been around. That's how they are as well. So
Wow.
Now I can only imagine what you're going through, but I just read a story before we had you come on about this kid Carter Stewart who was drafted in 2018 by the Braves, number 8 overall, and he chose to go play in Japan. Now
really,
he's stuck over there. Since COVID happened,
oh,
he can't
with the
fly
whole
home.
quarantine, jeez,
Yeah, he
Crazy, man.
signed. He just recently signed a 6-year deal worth $7 million with them to play over there. He turned down a $2 million offer with the Braves. And he hasn't seen his family, and he hasn't seen his fiance in
I couldn't have
months.
done that, man.
that is horrible,
That'd be
man.
terrible. I'd be crying myself to sleep every night.
You know,
Jeez.
with this COVID, and you see what's going on. You travel, you do all that. How hard is it for these guys to actually quarantine? I mean, let's face it. You're all young. The game's
Hmm.
over. You want to go back to the hotel, or you want to go out into town. You can't bubble these teams like the NBA and hockey. Hockey has no COVID cases. The NBA has no COVID cases. Actually, the
Hmm.
MLB has no COVID cases today at all. How tough is it to keep these guys on a leash?
This. I'm not sure what they did with hockey, but I know with like you were talking about the NBA bubble that it's so much easier for those guys to kind of keep track of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's a I want to say a smaller amount of guys than in
Yeah.
hockey, but with the MLB, there's so many teams and there's so many guys on each team, and you can only you can, you can't handcuff them to their bed.
Yeah.
That's we can't really do that here, so you just kind of have to give them the information. Hey, you guys go out and do whatever and end up getting this. That's on you, but we can't hold your hand through everything, I guess.
Now, say your team said that they were gonna play this year. Say there was a minor league season this year. How tough
Mhm.
would that have been for you to make a decision whether you were going to play or not? Like, how much thought would have went into that? Like, you see some of these pros in other sports opting out and keeping their family safe.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, nothing against all those guys that are opting out. I have respect for all those guys.
Mm-hmm.
They're making decisions that, I don't have a family yet, so wouldn't have to make that decision. And, where I am right now, I would be looking for plane tickets before I got off the phone call with the guys to go
Yeah.
out and play.
Wow.
But there are so many things that go into it, and it truly is different with every person. My family, unfortunately, we've had some run-ins with the coronavirus, so this kind of hits me at a personal level as well. But
Yeah.
like I said, I respect all those guys, doing what's best for them, and that's really what it comes down to, doing what's best for them and what's best for this family.
Yeah.
The whole scary thing about the coronavirus is you don't know what's going to happen. I
Yeah.
mean, you look at Freddie Freeman, who said it was the worst day of his life ever, and then you see like a guy like a Juan Soto who had like no symptoms at all. He's begging to get back on the field, but the state of Washington is basically just holding him out. And
Yeah.
it's like Russian roulette, really, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm. It's a scary thing that we're going through, definitely, and hopefully everything turns back to normal pretty soon, and we can get back to a regular sense of life.
Yeah. That's all
Now,
I want.
do you have the capability of going to like the Giants training facility and working out, whether it's in Florida, Arizona, wherever it is, or something? Since you are officially a member of the Giants, or do you need permission from them?
So I think I haven't really talked to anyone about that, but I'm just gonna guess that you would need permission from them, because when this whole thing first started happening, you were only allowed to go to the spring training facility during spring training if you needed rehab.
Okay.
So I'm not sure how many guys are out there right now, but I'm sure that there's a hard cap on the amount of people that are allowed to be in that facility.
Now,
Yeah.
is that just a standard baseball rule? Like only so many people from the roster are allowed to be at a training facility, or is that just because of the coronavirus?
Man, I have no clue. I just show up and work as hard as I can and play some baseball and leave.
Baseball is it's such an interesting sport because there are so many levels of
There
baseball, and it's so confusing. Like there's low A, high A, single A, double A, triple A. It's just a clusterfuck, really. If you think about it, it really is.
Oh yeah.
And like I'm trying to. You're in high A, so what would be?
Well, you're
what would,
in Class A advanced, aren't you?
Yeah.
so what
Yeah,
would
that's where I
what would
ended
be
up.
your next step? Like if you do advance?
The next step would be double A.
Nice.
Okay.
That's exciting.
But you could go from where you are now to triple A, right? If they
Oh yeah.
okay.
Oh yeah.
So it's not
anyone from any roster can have, they can be called up anywhere at any time. It's
well, we just saw that.
It's crazy to think about.
You were telling me today there was that kid from the Tampa Bay who he was in low A.
Oh yeah, that's right. The kid.
Yeah, he got called to the pros because he had a good
Tejada or something like that for the Rangers. He just got called up today.
and he had a good spring training, so he skipped all the levels.
Yeah, he was hitting bombs. I think he hit one in the new Texas Ranger Stadium, like 450 feet, and
he got called up to the bigs.
he got
Yeah.
called up to the bigs today. Was his first game. Well, let's face
That's
it,
the dream right there.
they only have 2 or 3 wins. So I think they're looking because they have that new stadium and they're looking to put a winning team together, which is not happening.
You got to fill those empty seats.
Yeah, you
Something
do.
other than cardboard cutouts.
Yeah. Now, Shane, what is something that you try to change every year? You try to work on in the off season to improve yourself every year going into another season.
A lot of it is just physically. All those games take a real toll on your body. So I'll take a few weeks off right after the season to really make sure that I'm getting my body recovered, to the best of my ability during the off season. But most of the time, man, it's just I'm my own hardest critic. So whatever I believe that I need to work on or I didn't do as well throughout the season, that's something that I'll put a lot of emphasis into during my off-season training.
Yeah.
But a lot of it, man, is just staying healthy, staying fit, doing what you can in the weight room and just staying ready for that next spring season.
Are there certain things that you can't do off the field, like as in your contract that they don't want you to do, so you don't get hurt?
there is a lot.
Oh
I mean,
gosh.
they don't want us to, I don't think they want us parachuting. I don't think they want us, doing all that crazy stuff. But
That's crazy.
You know what's crazy is it's awesome to be a pro, but your whole life has to change. I mean,
Mhm.
it's really really weird. Now, you see a lot of these guys like a Clint Frazier and some of these other guys. They get sent down to the minors and they're like depressed as all hell. They're all on Instagram and Twitters and all these things
Mhm.
talking crap. If you never got called up, and and I wish you the best. I hope you go to the pros. I hope you go to the Hall of Fame. If
Yeah, you
you
and me both.
if you never got that call to go up to the big team, but you stayed in Triple A and Double A, would you be okay with that?
I I cannot stress how much I love playing this game. Man, I think I would hope that that's far down the road where I kind of see myself plateauing and I can see the writing on the wall and
Mm-hmm.
maybe I've given this game everything I can, but man, I these guys are gonna have to rip the jersey off my back. I'm
Yeah.
gonna play this. I want to play until I can't play anymore.
I mean, you see a lot of guys in the minors that make careers out of it. Like I think one
Mhm.
guy's name was Paul Tracy. And not was it the
Andy
guy from
Tracy.
Andy
I mean, let's be
Tracy.
real. Playing in some of these newer AAA facilities. I mean, they're beautiful. I mean,
Yeah.
you get sellout crowds. It's a good
Mhm.
time.
And to me personally, I don't care if you play on the lowercase level A level. I don't care. You're a professional athlete. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
got somewhere where thousands of people get drafted every year. I mean, I don't know what is it like 30, 100 some rounds? I don't even know what it is.
No, it was. I mean, it was a lot shorter this year, but I'm pretty sure it was 40 rounds
Yeah,
before
so you
the
think
whole
about that.
coronavirus.
It's like 1,200 players get drafted every year, and they have the
Yeah.
same goal. So it's just a blessing that
It's only
yeah,
9 spots
that
they
you
can
got picked
start.
up.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but
Yeah, and that's something that a lot of us, kind of forget when we're going through it every day, and it's so cool to actually sit back and think, hey, like I'm a professional athlete. This all the work that I've done, everything I've wanted to do from when I was 4 years old picking up a baseball bat. This
Yeah,
this is what I've been working for, and it's awesome.
that's amazing.
But when we put this up on Twitter and we put this up on all of our platforms tonight, we're going to list you down as an MLB player. We don't say double A, triple
Hey,
A, single A, MLB player, Shane
I
Matheny.
love that.
Yeah,
That's got a great ring to it.
because you know what? At the end of the day, you're a pro. You don't have to take the time out to talk to a father and son on a Thursday night. You know what I mean? So you're important to us. So
Yeah.
we're gonna do whatever we can.
We were actually supposed to have. I think he was one of your teammates, David Villar. He was supposed to be on
Oh
tonight.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's my boy.
he was supposed to be on with us tonight, but he didn't read my message, so that's why I texted you and said you want to come on now.
Gosh, yeah, he's an awesome guy. I played with him in San Jose last year, and he's just an awesome guy.
Well, we were supposed to have Jonathan Papelbon on last week, and
Ooh.
he blew us off twice.
He literally
And
gave
he-
us 2 dates. Said
And
he's good.
I said, and I shouldn't have said it on the podcast. I say it's just like the Red Sox couldn't close the deal.
Now, if you ever get to play at Iron Pick Stadium, man, you gotta let us know. We'll come down, catch a game, get a photo or something.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course.
But man, we want to thank you so much for joining us tonight, man. It's been fun, man. We wish you the best of luck on your career, and we also hope that you and your family stay safe, man.
Are you watching any other sports? You watching basketball or those
Oh, yeah.
Flyers or anything?
I'm not that into hockey. I like going to hockey games in person. That's my favorite sport to go watch,
Mhm.
in person. But man, ever since sports came back, there hasn't been anything else on my TV. I'm just enjoying every second of it.
I seen a lot of people that were complaining about the whole BLM thing and that they're never watching a sport again. They are not true fans because I don't care if they do BLM stuff every day of the freaking week.
Yeah.
I need sports. I miss sports. And I was to the point where I was watching those cornhole tournaments. You know?
Oh, me too. Those are awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I needed sports so bad, and I'm so glad that they're all back at the same time.
Yeah, some of those guys, though, man, I don't know how they just drain holes and they get it over some of the bags, and that takes
Mhm.
skill.
It's what those kind of man. I mean, they're definitely athletes in their own sense, but like, man, the stuff that they can do, it is so cool to watch.
That's freaking awesome.
I'm just so pumped because we got the Sixers in the playoffs. We got the Flyers that haven't been this good in a long time.
We live right outside of Philly. We are not Eagles
We hate
fans,
the
though.
Eagles.
We hate
We're
the
not
Eagles.
Eagles
Yeah, yeah.
fans.
Okay.
Now, do you watch football?
Yes, huge football fan.
Now you a Seahawks fan?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, what do you think about that Jamal Adams trade?
Man, how our first round draft picks have kind of panned out in the past. I was so happy to get someone that's, proven already, kind of shore up that defense. But
I hope you guys ink him.
How are you gonna feel though if he doesn't sign and you guys lose him after 2 years?
well,
Just like Jimmy Butler did to us.
Wait, is that how much
What
he has
happened?
left on his contract? 2
He's
years.
2 years left on
I
his
think it was
contract,
2 years. Yeah.
and plus they can franchise tag him if they want.
But if you guys ink him and then you get Clowney back, and then they also talked about they're interested in Clay Matthews. I mean, that could be a really good defense.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been talking about it all that much because I don't really want to jinx it. Because
Jinx away, baby. I'm the Cowboys fan.
That would fire me up.
What's funny is I'm a Saints fan. He's a Dallas fan, and Clowney came out and said he's interested in both. But now Seahawks are trying to get him again, so it's just.
All I gotta say is I think Dallas plays Seattle this year, and we ain't worried about no 12th man because there ain't no 12th man this year. They're gonna be crickets.
That's crazy.
Oh,
No,
man.
I seriously
We're gonna
hope.
pump in some loud crowd music.
Yeah, I seriously hope there is football. I mean, 66 players did opt out today. Well, total.
Mhm.
Today was the deadline. I don't know how they're gonna do it, man. Because with college football, you look at what's going on in college football. I mean, UConn today just said that they're not playing football.
Yeah, I saw that.
All D3 sports are canceled,
Hmm.
and then
It is nice though the XFL is coming back, 'cause that's going to be huge for college.
And then you
players.
have the Big Ten and the Pac-12 trying to unionize, and the players said that they have these list of demands, and they're not going to play unless they get half the revenue and all this other stuff they wrote down on paper that they want.
Yeah, they throw a lot of stuff out there. But hey, I mean, might as well tell them everything you want just in case you get a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Well, if I was the university, I'd be like, nope, we're not doing that. And by the way, we're taking away your free scholarship.
Oh man, because I was a Pac-12 athlete. I understand all of it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely on the player's side, I guess, but there's arguments for both sides.
Well, what do you think about that? I mean, if they decide that, yeah, we're going to start paying players, what do you think about that? Because you'd think football is the biggest sport, and nothing against baseball, but you look at all these sports that are going to get left out, and it's going to cause problems. I mean, you're going to have girls softball complaining because they're not getting paid the same as football or the same as baseball. And
Yeah.
you're going to have people saying screw it and just bypassing college just like they're doing in the NBA.
And you've played too, so you understand, like, it's like a job almost. I mean, you're
Oh, yeah.
practicing every single day. So would you be for players getting paid?
Absolutely, man. Because our days, I don't think a lot of people understand, what the Division I athlete schedule actually looks like. And then, like you guys were talking about the teams, that football team, it actually pays for a good amount of all the other sports on campus.
Yeah.
So you got to give credit where credit's due to that aspect. But the schedule, you're waking up, you got weights at 6.
Jeez.
You're done around 8 o'clock. You have an 8:10 class. You're in class till 1:30. Then you have to go to your mandatory tutors. You got to get so many study hours in per week. You got to report back to your counselors, your coaches. Then you got practices. You got games on the weekends. And you got to keep up your grades to be eligible and work towards that degree. And
That's crazy.
man,
It's like, when do you enjoy college? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But I
know
guess
what?
if your goal is to get to the next level,
I
you
feel
don't.
bad for the baseball players because you don't ever see baseball players getting a full ride in baseball in college.
Mm-hmm. It's a struggle, especially with such a low amount of scholarships that we do get. Man, there's.
Let me ask you, do you
it's
think
a grind.
you think college baseball will ever change over to wooden bats, or you think that their sponsors are just too big, where they'll always be with the Louisville Slugger
Too
and
big.
all? Yeah.
I would say too big as well. I love the wooden bat game though. I would listen to a wooden bat over a metal bat.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my
100
gosh.
out of 100 times.
I would
But-
so.
But could you imagine an Aaron Judge or a John Carlos Stanton hitting.
Dude,
Man, that is just
that's 500,
dangerous.
600 feet probably.
I mean, but they're hitting the ball like 116 miles an hour now. Imagine being an infielder and having a ball ripped at you at 130 miles an hour.
imagine the pitcher.
Oh yeah, I'm going to the outfield. No shot. I'm staying in the
No
infield.
way. No way.
But you know what?
If he wants to lay it down a bunt, go for it. But if I'm at third base, I'll be in left field.
Dude, imagine being the pitcher. I'd be scared to be the pitcher. I mean,
Yeah.
you're dead if you get a ball hit back to you.
But you know what?
Oof.
I think there's going to be a total change in college sports. And I think the NCAA, the only power they have now over anything is just they own the TV contract rights. But the Power 5 in football, I think they're going to break away eventually. I mean, you're already seeing in college basketball, kids, the top 5 right now projected kids in the country have said, nope, we're not going to college. We're going to the G League. So they're going to get like $100,000+ a year to play basketball.
Yeah.
So-
I think there is going to be a change just because they will be forced to make a change.
Now, my last question here for you, Shane, is what would your thoughts be if they started doing, the electronic umpires and the minors to test that all out? How would you feel about that?
Personally, I don't like it.
I don't
Just
either.
because I'm a hitter. I'm working a little bit as a catcher now, and there's so much of the game where catchers, that's their value is stealing strikes. Is getting those strike calls on strikes that are outside the zone, and that brings so much value to the game. And if you can't take away human error in a sport
No.
where if
No, you can't.
You succeed 3 out of 10 times, you're Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And
It's a game. It's a game of failure. So
They just need to stop changing so much with this game. I think they just need to let it be baseball.
I know.
It's annoying.
Man, I don't understand all those the arguments for baseball being the most boring sport. Man, if you understand it and you get everything that's going on about it.
Yeah, that's
I
like
don't
when
think
that's
there's
like when
better
you step
sport
out
out
of the
there.
box. When you step out of the box, it's not to delay the game. I'm thinking what's the next pitch coming here? I got a 1-2 count. What's his best
Mhm.
pitch? It's a mental game.
Yeah.
Sure,
And-
it could be boring to watch sometimes, but it's fun to play. It's like it's a mental game.
Yeah.
But I think
It's-
they did use that electronic stuff down in, was it the International League that they tried it? And the strike zone was all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, can't trust technology nowadays.
No.
All right, Shane. Well, we appreciate you coming on today, man.
Yeah. Hey, thank you guys again for having me. It was awesome.
It was
Oh,
a complete honor to have you on our podcast. And I'm glad we were your first podcast. So when Pat McAfee comes calling, you can let them all know about us. But
You
seriously,
got it, guys.
we wish you the best. We hope you stay healthy, and we would love to see you on TV soon.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right, man. Have a
Stay
good
safe,
night
man.
tonight.
Yep. You as well.
That was awesome. That was Shane. His name's
Shane Matheny.
Shane Matheny. that was a good podcast. I like that. Was a cool guy. Cool guy.
Yeah, because you know what? The podcasts that I love are the ones like that. Like when we interviewed Rajay Davis, you could tell it was in the beginning it was kind of like awkward, but these are the good ones because
Just lay back,
you
lay
know
back.
what? No notes, just relaxing. It just
We even talk about other sports too, which is pretty cool.
getting the scoop about baseball, learning is the biggest thing that we try to do on this podcast, and I love the fact that we're doing it.
Thank you again, Shane. It was amazing.
Yeah, he's a
Nice guy.
Seattle fan. We should ask him about the Krakens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they got their own hockey team now. So, the Flyers get to come over there and kill the Kraken.
Kill the Kraken. That's awesome.
But complete honor. I love it. And like I said, I don't care no matter where he finishes. He's a pro. His name was called in a draft
Yeah.
out of 1,000+ people. And how many people got turned away?
Lots.
And you see all those kids in the minors that just got dumped and he's still there. That's awesome. Oh, God bless him, man. I hope he makes it to the pros. Not to mention that's one of the best organizations to be in, the San Francisco.
They're about to rebuild any day
Detroit.
now. You know what I mean? Like they are currently
teams like that,
rebuilding.
Kansas City. Those are the teams you want to be with. The Marlins are 5-1.
5-1, man.
But they only played 6 games. Everyone else played like
Hey,
13.
the Orioles are in second place too. Remember when you said they wouldn't get 10 wins?
Well, they didn't get 10 wins yet. They lost 4 in a row now.
They're getting there,
all
though.
right. But this was a great podcast. I love it. I love having
Gave us
guests
30
on.
minutes, man.
I love having games on. I love talking. It looks like the Yankees are struggling again.
My soccer team comes on in 10 minutes. We're gonna win it and go to the cup.
Yankees are now losing 5-2.
Really?
Struggling. That's the thing. I think I gotta get Rudy on here. We gotta talk baseball because you know what? I have a lot of concerns about the Yankees pitching. Paxton, he's not throwing well. His velocity's down. Hap is complete trash. He's got to go. Montgomery's struggling. We need Andujar was just sent down to the minors today.
Bring Frazier up.
It's time to make a deal and get a package going. Texas Rangers are falling apart, man. You got the Lynn down there. You got Mike Minor down there.
They're old though.
You know what? It's time to make a deal for pitching.
You're trading a 20-year-old for a 30-year-old.
Next year, Paxton and Tanaka are free agents, man. It's time to turn the page. Either that or get these damn young kids up here. Get that Schmidt kid up here throwing. Let's go. Yeah, let's start doing it.
You know what I miss? I miss a good knuckleball pitcher like R.A. Dickey. What was that guy? Just declining. It's playing in the podcast. I don't know who that was.
I don't know if that was David Villa or not.
I didn't give him our number. But, yeah, I was just going to say something, but totally forgot.
Yeah, well, we were supposed to have 2 guests on tonight, but we got one on, so that was a great thing. And
yeah.
this podcast will be up on all the platforms. Continue to follow us. We're up to 900 plus followers on Twitter now.
Check out our Instagram. Check out our Facebook page.
Go check out the other good podcasts, Critically Damaged, Girls Beer Sports. Thank you to them, by the way. Girls Beer Sports. They gave us a hell of a shout out on their podcast. I love it. Love it. And then whenever they want to have us on, we'll be there. I'll be wearing my Michigan jersey.
We'll be there.
And by the way, Carrie, Flyers. Look at that. Travis Konecki up behind me.
Konecki. We love you guys, and we hope you guys stay safe. See you.